Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of the BEL podcast. We got episode 10 with my friend Marc Belisle. He will be talking to us today about his gaming conference he's putting on next year here in Canada, in Calgary, right next to where I live, right by my home. He's going to introduce you to a lot of his exciting sponsors. Some of them, this is the first time they've come to Canada, so this is all real exciting, real break ground for us. We do have a charity that is involved with the event as well, so if you would like to donate to the causes, I will have any important links in the description box, and they'll also play during the video. So I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Here we go.
No.
Cheers, David.
Yes.
Marc.
Here we go.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. My friends, welcome to the podcast. Marc, we're so glad to have you here.
Mm-hmm.
Dave,
Yes.
I appreciate you inviting us into our house.
Oh, yes. Yep. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a special one. Marc,
Yeah.
why don't you introduce yourself to the people here?
All right. Hey, my name is Marc Belisle. I'm the Vice President of BEL Consulting, and we're a large-scale events company. And essentially, I got invited onto this lovely show to talk about our biggest show, which is right up here, GameCon Canada, powered by TELUS, which is going to be the largest gaming expo that has ever happened in Western Canada to date. So really excited to talk about it, what we've organized, what we've got going on in 2023, June, Calgary, Alberta, at the BMO Center.
Look out, Calgary,
Nice,
Alberta. We've got some friends on the BEL channel from Calgary, actually.
Mhm.
Nice.
There's a few of them. Yep.
Yep.
When everyone recognizes my accent, they say, "Hey, you sound like me."
Well, we just had Tommy on last week, right?
We just had Tommy on,
Or
yeah.
the
Our
week
guest
before,
last week was
whatever.
from Calgary.
Yep.
Yep.
So there you
Nice.
go. Yep.
So, Marc, how'd you get into this now? Like, what's the progression been? Because last time I saw you, you were in a band called Double Jack.
Oh, yeah.
I think the last time actually was when you guys were open for CCR, BTO,
Yeah, no, it was CCR at the NMAX Center.
Denmark Center. And so how did you get from, like, give me the too long didn't read version of from there to today?
No, absolutely. So, I mean, always into music. I'll always be into music. That's for sure. It's not something that's ever going to go away. But long story short, through like when I was playing with Double Jack, I always had a friendship with a gentleman named Chris Mayer. And we always kept in contact, back and forth. He was the essentially founder of the Alberta Food and Beverage Expo. That's what he created. Yeah, sorry. So many titles in the business we're doing. And we just started hanging out back and forth. And then in 2018, essentially we started working together and found out we had a wonderful working relationship happening.
Mhm.
And while he was growing that show, we started doing other large scale events. So we did Lead Healthy Living Expo. We're expanding in Saskatchewan for the Saskatchewan Food and Beverage Expo. And
Nice.
then honestly, when the world shut down in 2020, it was like, okay, we've got time to plan something that we
Mhm.
want to do. And every Monday after, we'd go home for the weekends, we'd be like, what games did you play? What'd you play? Well, I played this board game with some friends. I played this video game with some friends. And upon doing research, we realized that there was nothing in the gaming space for large scale events in Canada. We were like, this is ridiculous. How is this even happening? So we started reaching out to our corporate partners, the connections we've made, and started planning GameCon Canada. And here we are 2 years later and 7 months out of going live.
Awesome.
Unbelievable. I
Yeah.
just in this moment realized I know who Chris is.
Oh, okay.
I know Chris quite well.
Nice.
We'll see the small world, right?
Hey, right on.
Hey.
So how did that relationship come to fruition? Was it like through the events? Did you guys hit it off as friends? Like, what happened?
It was, honestly, it's like we're talking about Double Jack. For a small time, actually, we were even thinking about hiring Chris full time as the manager for the band.
Oh, really?
Like, this is going back to like 2009.
Yeah.
That's how long we go back.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, just always kept in touch when I moved up to Calgary and was doing pocket deals, and I was doing app development for a digital coupon service, and he was doing.
I remember that too.
company, right? So it was just like
those days.
yeah, we just kept in touch, and he was one of those things that we're like, what, let's partner up and do this, because we both got the skills to make this happen, and then built a team, and here we are.
Awesome.
I'm not going to ask Chris questions while he's not here, but like you yourself, Chris, as well, you're very much go-getters. It seems like you very much take advantage of the climate and you're not afraid to bring like large scale events, the largest in Western Canada.
Mhm.
Where does that come from? How do you have the balls to pull that off?
Well, I mean,
learn.
for sure. And I mean, it comes from honestly, we've got 10 years experience in, running large scale events. Now, I know what you're saying, like to do something of that scale is kind of seems daunting, and it is an organizational challenge. It really is, to keep all the working parts moving. But essentially, the biggest thing about it is when you're doing an event of this size, when you're reaching out to the community to gauge interest, you're taking all the experience and requests and tidbits of knowledge from everyone that is in this industry and what they would like to see from an event of this size. And then you just go to work, like you said, go getters. Okay, what do we need? Okay, this has been asked from here. Let's go get that. We need something on this side to make sure that people are doing business. Let's go get that. So, I mean, that's why the nice thing is we've had 2 years to plan this. So every little piece of the puzzle that has been requested from the largest scale AAA talent that we have down to our lovely, indie group, like essentially indie game developers, which is our passion. It's the reason why we wanted to do this, was to bring them a stage in Canada. We've tried to facilitate all their requests to make sure this is going to go off as a huge success.
Nice.
That's so awesome to hear.
Now, heard maybe a little rumor that you might have something to talk to us about here regarding this, maybe an announcement of sorts.
So essentially, I had to, and I don't even mind telling you guys the story. I had to get some major approval here to be able to announce this early, because our press release isn't until mid-January, and that'll be launched with TELUS, our title sponsor, who, by the way, I love to say they've been a fantastic company to work with, and they are on board for 3 years. They're a title sponsor for 3 years.
Awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations, man. 3 years. That's a huge commitment. That's a lot of trust, man.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I'll say this. It is truly in the title. GameCon Canada, powered by TELUS. It's truly in the title. So what they're offering, which is mind-blowing. So if you've ever been to gaming conferences, and I've been to quite a few, one of the biggest add-on expenses for all these vendors that are trying to show their passion and their art through their video games is, hey, you want to show your game? Guess what? You're going to need high-speed internet to do so. P.S. It's $4,000 for the weekend. Have fun. It's crazy expensive for a lot of these gaming conferences. TELUS is providing that for free for every vendor that's signing up. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. So that's what I mean. It's in the title. It's absolutely amazing. But getting back to the announcement. We had to get corporate approval for it today. We've got a video to queue up, which we will in a second. So just so everyone that's watching knows, this has never happened in Canada. They have never come to Canada in any sort of activation for an event. And what they're bringing, we'll get to right after we play this video. So let's queue it up, because it is a very, very big announcement. I believe it's the second video in the queue.
Okay.
Would you like it full screen, or you want us to be on the side there, Mark?
Oh, let's be on the side. Let's get reactions.
All right.
Okay.
No. What?
No.
Oh my God.
What? No. You maybe back it up so I'm not talking over the top of it.
Got it.
Nice.
That's the one, eh?
Nice.
I'm just gonna pause it.
Is coming to Canada, coming to GameCon Canada, and I'll just I'll get into it exactly what's going on, because it is so cool to what they're bringing. So for anyone that doesn't know, if they saw this and they're like, "What's Warhammer?" Warhammer is essentially the largest tabletop war game in the world. Period. They also have about 12 or 14 video games out there that are franchised over it. They have Warhammer 40K. They have Warhammer, which is based in a fantasy world. It was started, so many years ago, and has inspired so many people. Actually, if you want to look up the biggest Warhammer fan in the world, he's sort of popular right now. You may know him from a few titles. Henry Cavill is one of the biggest Warhammer followers in the world. Like, he is so passionate. Superman, The Witcher. He is like Warhammer crazy, like
wow, man.
So this is what they're bringing. So we dedicated. So when you enter GameCon Canada, it's going to be the tabletop hall, right? Is what we call it, and it's sponsored by Lindvander Studios. It's a company that we work with out of Eastern Canada. We'll show you a quick clip on them later. They're absolutely fantastic. But when you walk in, you're going to see a 12-foot Space Marine, that's exact 9-foot Space Marine.
Oh, okay.
Everyone
3-foot difference.
I just want to be accurate, right? A 9-foot Space Marine that greets everyone at the door, which is going to be super cool.
Nice.
And they brought a World Forward store, which is all their stuff that they sell for retail Warhammer. They're going to have a battle arena essentially that you're going to be able to learn how to play Warhammer if you've never learned before. Then they have an entire section dedicated to painting miniatures, which is part of the passion. They call it the hobby.
Yep.
Is
Okay.
painting miniatures. And so they'll be running classes throughout the entire weekend, and whoever signs up for it is going to receive a miniature and to learn how to paint it, which is super cool. And the biggest thing they're doing, as far as, like all this other stuff is amazing, don't be wrong. But when they told us they're bringing a 4,000 square foot laser tag arena to which all the guns and armor are fashioned after Warhammer 40K, we were like, what?
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, like even if you've never heard of Warhammer, like who doesn't want to go dress up and go play laser tag?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
That so unreal, man. So how does that feel to be able to bring this to Canada? This is something you built.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. And I remember when we got the call, it was one of those things, because in sales, if no one's ever been in the wonderful world of sales, it's like you have your meetings and you have your follow-up meetings and you talk about, what exactly you want to bring to the table. And then you usually get brought up to higher decision makers. And long story short, any big company that signs on to an event like this, it's not a, hey, we'll call you on Tuesday, let you know the answer, right? It's usually months. So just waiting patiently for the call. And then it was just a Monday morning and I was opening up my laptop at the office and then boom, there's the email. It's like, let's get the paperwork started.
Bro.
Yes.
That had to feel good, to say the least.
It felt absolutely amazing. It's going to be really cool. And I mean, like I said, if you'll have me back on, there's going to be quite a few other big announcements that we can share. But, like I said, in this world, in this game, you have to wait to be given permission.
Right? Oh, well, we'll try to fit you into our busy
schedule here. Yeah.
I'd love to come back. That's for sure.
You have an open invitation in
anytime,
perpetuity for whatever you're doing. Whatever
anytime.
I don't care. You just let me know, and we're good. Good to go.
You. That is very cool.
100%.
So that's the big, that was the big reveal that I want to share tonight. Obviously, there's a couple things we'll go over, but it's.
I mean, that's a big one right there.
That's
you know
huge,
what I mean?
man.
Like, because you said this is the first time they're bringing this to Canada. Like, but like this hasn't happened. You're breaking ground here.
We are breaking ground here, and when we were talking to essentially the decision maker Ryan, he was really quite nice because he kind of took us aside and said, hey, like you should be proud of what you guys have done because we've never done this. We sure has never done this before, a year of notice, right? So for us to go 9 months out and make the decision. That we're
and
doing
that's a
this,
good decision too, man.
This is good for you guys. It was like, such a cool. So it's actually expanded our tabletop interest quite a bit because when we first designed the show, we thought it was going to be, 4 halls, 1 hall tabletops, 3 gaming halls.
Sure.
With the kind of interest we're getting now, it's looking like it's going to be 1.5, 2 halls almost. So it might just be 50-50 almost for board games and video games, right? Which is kind of what we wanted in the first place. Like it's not video game content.
It's an all-encompassing game of any variety. I like that.
So for those of us that are not in the scene, can you explain what the difference between tabletop and the other word that you were using?
Okay, for sure. So yes, obviously there's so digital format, right? So I mean, this is when because with GameCon Canada, the whole idea behind the con is that it's not like traditional ones you've seen in Calgary before, where the vendors are strictly retail and then there are different activations happening. This is something where it's all about playing games. So the thing is, on our gaming halls, right on the digital side, you'll be able to essentially test drive video games from all over the world. We have vendors coming from Norway, we have vendors coming from Europe, we have vendors coming from the United States that are all going to be doing video games. And the tabletop section is strictly designed for people that design combat card games, like CCGs, board games, those kind of experiences, right? And we have an entire play area centered around that. So not only you're going to get to see the board game companies that are, encompassing in the hall, but we also have tables that are set up for demo purposes. So it's just like, hey, if you just want to go grab a table and check out a board game, we wanted to create that space for the tabletop community because in the video game world, you're going to be playing on a VR helmet or a, on a controller or a keyboard. It's a lot easier to facilitate a demo space there.
Gotcha. So it's a way to get people to actually be able to get a taste of it, immerse themselves in it a little bit, and
feel it how it's supposed to be done, right?
Yeah. With people of like mind that are probably going to make the experience that much better and more exciting because they're into it and they know everybody knows what's going on. Yeah.
Trust me on this. I've been to 3 board game conferences now. Board game conferences. There are people. They all look like guitar players and drummers. They're all tatted up, chain wallets. Like, and these are like the CEOs of the company. You know, I'm around here. I'm like, these are my people. I was like,
no kidding.
So all you're telling me is that you just saw, like, as a musician, you're like, nah, this makes no sense. And you're like, oh, gaming's doing well. I'm gonna go do gaming.
Okay, so
money's gone for music. Moving on.
Full disclosure, I have disappointed quite a few people in my career because you guys have known me forever, right? I had hair down past my shoulders, circle helicopter headbanging and jamming out guitar, but at the core of myself,
Jesus.
Yeah, there you go. At the core of myself,
Jesus. I remember those days.
Absolutely, right? Like,
yes.
I've always been a gamer. I've always been a super nerd, and it's just like surprise. It's like
now we're doing gaming.
This is all me, right? Like, it's been a fun ride. It's one of the, I don't know if you guys know this, but I mean, this is side. We'll get back to GameCon in a second. One of my hidden passions is writing fantasy RPG video games.
You told me once. Yes.
Yeah.
Really? That once. Yeah.
So talk about that. Tell me about something. What have you written? Tell me about the journey.
Oh, okay. So that was it's actually on a platform that Larian Studios released, and it's called Divinity Original Sin 2, and then they released something called GM mode, right? Which I had no idea what it was. So I clicked on it and it looked like way too complicated for me. I'm like, okay, I don't even want to get into this. And then, as the powers that be, in the social media world, obviously someone somewhere saw me research it. And then I got a YouTube video on my YouTube feed of Matt Mercer demoing what GM mode was. And then I started clicking in. I'm like, wait a minute. I can write fantasy adventures for my best friends and have them play it while I run the entire show. Sold. I was like, that's it. So I wrote 4 campaigns total, only released 2 because I just didn't have time to release the others on Steam. But between those 2 games, I had just over 70,000 people follow the games.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. I knew you were into that, but I didn't know how far you went, like how deep you got into it. Like, yeah,
it was a riot. It was an absolute riot. I did a couple streams on Twitch during the pandemic when things were a little slower in the world, and threw some money through charity and through some Twitch streamers that were completely volunteer basis. Like, we just met online and they joined the campaign, grabbed a character, and then we just went through the narrative and started raising money. Actually, we just finished raising money on my last campaign for Child's Play, and Child's Play is the official charity of GameCon Canada.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
What's what's the deal?
Yeah, shout them out. Talk about them. Let's hear it.
Okay, so like I said, I came prepared with a bunch of fun, cool videos. Yeah. So I do have a video I can show that's going to
let's do it. Let's do it.
Why not?
It's the 3rd video, and then we'll get into a little more of the details of it.
Sure. That sounds good.
Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic.
I was gonna back that up. Sorry.
It started with a simple idea: give back to the community and make sure kids have fun games to play while in recovery at hospitals. It's because of their inspiring work and dedication that we are so honored to announce GameCon Canada's official charity partner, the Child's Play Charity. Together with their help, we will outfit child healthcare facilities all over Alberta with big screen TVs, game consoles, and other gaming-related equipment. Now it's time to introduce you to the GameCon Canada charity Twitch streamers. These amazing influencers are donating their time and talent to help us raise funds every month leading up to our live dates of June 2023, where you'll find them streaming live from our Megastage all weekend long. GameCon Canada is the largest gaming expo in Western Canada, with hundreds of video games and tabletop board games for our attendees to discover and enjoy. We can't wait to see you all in 2023.
Cool,
man. This looks good.
Okay, yeah.
God, this is wild, bro. Oops.
Thank you.
There we go.
Like, this is wild, man. Like, how I just want to say congratulations again, man. This is just having these social assets at this quality is wild, man.
It's so that was the first So when we started planning this, we wanted to reach out to a charity because we wanted to attach ourselves. Because with the success of something this big, if we were going to do it, we wanted to attach ourselves to someone that could facilitate this kind of charity initiative. So when we reached out to Child's Play, it was like, here's the concept. We want to outfit 140 child healthcare facilities in Alberta year one with game consoles, TVs, and other gaming related equipment. So they've hopped on board for 3 years, just like TELUS. And that is our mission. So for the first year, we are going to be focusing on Alberta because it's an Alberta event. And then the following year, we're going to be opening up to Western Canada. And then for our third year in 2025, we'll be doing all of Canada. So it's a wonderful initiative. I wish I could tell you who the game console is. We are pretty sure we've acquired them. That'll be something we can talk about a little later. But yeah, we're pretty sure we have found our console that we'll be partnering up with in order to facilitate.
That'll be the next announcement, maybe.
Yes, yes, absolutely. But really cool.
We have a little kind of thing on here on my channel. I've got a PayPal tip jar, my friends, and for anyone that wants to donate to this channel, we are full willing to give 100% of it to your charity as well. So anything we can do to help to be a part of it, I'd love to add that in.
Yeah, anything from the stream here. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The BEL team, y'all took care of Tommy last week. Y'all like freaked us out, and you were sending me like all kinds. I woke up to like 6, 7, 8 of them, and I just will pass all the exact same from this episode on to Child's Play as well. So
there you go.
Glad to be a part.
That is super cool. Thank you very much. And so now we have another. So our charity streamers have grown to 4. We're going to cap it at 12. But essentially, these wonderful and they're amazing. Like our Twitch charity streamers are so like responsible, and they're just go-getters like we are. So we literally don't have to do anything, and they just plan one game night a month. They take initiative for it. They do a different social game, and then they raise money, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And I think they're probably in the neighborhood of just over $4,000 now of just doing it in their spare time. And I mean, and we're so happy to be able to, reciprocate some publicity for them, because they'll all be in our Megastage hall during GameCon Canada, streaming all 3 days, not only with some of the game keys we're going to be able to provide them, giving away prizes and ticketing as we get closer to our live dates, but then being able to introduce them to our attendees, because everyone's going to have their own streaming booth that's going to look like a stream center, right? With a big screen TV and a QR code. Like, if you want to follow them, click on your QR code. Like it's meant to, to be like, hey, these guys helped us out for a year. You should follow them. They're good people.
That's awesome, man. That's so awesome. So what does something like this mean to you? It's obviously more than you just want to play video games with thousands of people at once. You sound inspired. So what does this mean to you? What is this all really fulfilling?
Oh, it's to be quite honest, my wife and I were talking about this earlier, and because I've been like, my whole life essentially has been a few things, right? So obviously, family first, very close second has been music, and third has always been in this gaming space, right? And I'm 42. So when video games came around when I was growing up, this was not the cool thing to do, right? Like if you weren't playing sports or you weren't being, active, and it's like, you're wasting your life and blah, 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 you'll never go anywhere. Like, this is just in the first beginnings of, I think it was called, I can't remember the name, TNT television. It was like, the controller was like a flat panel with a little ball that went around. The graphics were horrible. Before Nintendo came out, right?
So talking like pre-Atari, even like ColecoVision style,
this kind of stuff, right? And this was not cool, right, at all. And now to be in a space where, like, we got asked when we pitched this, first to our partners, it's like, so what do you think the demographics are going to be for your show? I'm like, 6 to 60, and they're like, what? And I'm like, because there are gamers that are that old, and now they feel okay to, go out. Like, who would have thought, honestly, like, if anyone follows this at all, who would have thought there'd be such a term as a celebrity dungeon master? Like, what?
I love that. I love that.
Celebrity dungeon master.
Right? Like, who would have thought, like, when it first came out, D&D was like, there's devil worshippers that are in the basement rolling dice.
I just watched a documentary on this. I just watched one.
I was gonna say, like, it's
devil worshippers.
Okay, I mean, I'm not that much younger than you, so I remember how things were back in the day, right? And I mean, I was into games, but I wasn't a hardcore gamer, but I remember how there was a certain stigma to it. You're the nerdy guy, the whatever, you know, yeah, you weren't the cool guy. You're getting picked on by the jocks and the whoever, right? So yeah, to see things come, and it's come around so far now to where, like, you know, gamers are starting to become celebrities, and it's this multi-million-dollar industry that's just like
multi-billion.
I was going to say there's a B on there.
Billion.
Yeah.
Yes, I misspoke. Billion, yes,
Don't let them catch you. Don't let them catch you.
Yeah. But really, though, it is, and it's crazy to see that it's come so far. But it's, you know, it's almost, you know, in some way, it's like Revenge of the Nerds. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of taken over at this point, and even the cool people. Everybody plays games. Who doesn't play games? Who doesn't play games?
Yeah,
really, right?
And I enjoy all aspects of it, and mostly the social part, right? I mean, it's there's nothing like, you know, seeing a whole bunch of people coming together for, you know, united, you know, goal of just having fun.
Yeah.
You know, like how can you go wrong with that, right? Like it's a really good feeling.
And you're, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh no, go for it. I'm just saying that's you, to your question. That's where it's coming from.
I gotcha. But it sounds like it's a very immersive experience that you're building as well. So you did all the planning during lockdowns, during this whole pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. And now you're building something that is post-pandemic, quote unquote. I'm not a doctor. I can't speak to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But so, like, how has the planning changed, and how have you had to adapt from, like, say, like prototype 1 to prototype now?
Actually, it's a wonderful question. Here's a great example. Prototype 1, we were going to launch in 2022. We had every intention to. But then when Omicron hit, a lot of our large scale partners essentially just, you know, kind of pulled out and said, we're not going to do any in-person events this year because of that. And it's the gaming community is a very, I'll have to say, socially health conscious, responsible crowd.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's not like, you know, like some other events that just kind of said, oh, we're just going to open up and go for it. Right. So the nice thing about it that gave us the extra time was to, you know, like I said, listen to our community and what else, you know, we could possibly add to the show to make it beneficial, not only for the B2C aspect, which is, you know, business to consumer, which this is a consumer show, but the B2B, the business to business that's happening, because if we're getting all these vendors to, you know, because these things are, trust me, GameCon Canada is by far the most affordable con you can go to in the space, but there's still flights and hotels and your booth setup and your time and your labor. I mean, like when these companies come, they want to also, you know, be like, hey, so do you have any business solutions as well? And that's something we've really focused on, which was way more than we were able to pull off should we have went in the first year. So now we've partnered up with Meet to Match, their organizational software that is made for gaming conferences and made for B2B business. We paid for the whole suite. So some conferences charge their vendors, they get a free ticket, and it is brilliant. So you start an account, you say a little, essentially to fill in the tabs about what your company is, and then what you're looking for search tag wise for what meeting. So if you're looking for financing or a new designer, employees, marketing, whatever it is, and then those tags correspond to what people are offering in their meetings, and then your schedule opens up and you just click the time. We've got a Meet to Match lounge on site, and you can leave your booth and go collaborate with different companies from all around the world for future business. It's super cool. Like,
fuck, man, that's
like, it sounds like you've crossed like every box. Like if the business wants it, the sponsor wants it, the consumer wants it, you've got it all covered.
No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you've definitely you've covered a lot of bases on this.
Sounds like you've done your homework.
I mean,
what it sounds
really, like I knew yeah, like I knew this was, like, you know, obviously a big endeavor and whatever, but the depth of research that you've done and how deep you've gone into it, and yeah, it's
inspiring, bro.
Guy, I've known you forever, and I am very, very impressed with what you are doing these days, and to hear even more in depth about it, it's like, I'm fuck, man.
Thank you.
My hat is off to you guys. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this now. I just want to say you are.
It's all good.
It.
So speaking of, so we were talking about B2B business. I'm going to pull up something that by far to date was, I'll tell you the story about it. Just let me pull up the video file first so I get that responsible part done, just so I actually have it here and we'll get it all queued up. That is going to be under GameCon Canada and videos, and it is this one.
You're gonna have to teach me how to organize myself because I'm so bad at all the things you're doing right now.
If you saw my Trello, so Trello is like organizational software for like your tasks. It's it is
beautiful. It's a beautiful
pretty
thing.
fun.
Yeah, I was like, Trill, what are you talking about?
So I'm gonna let you know the history.
Okay.
So when we first launched the website, it was always our intention because there's a couple things with the fandom that exists in gaming that is very easily identified as crossover, and one of them is cosplay. Right, so we were like, people love dressing up as video game characters and movie characters, and so did I. I mean, I did it once, and I was so ticked off. I worked out for 6 months straight, like really pushed tin big time to buff myself up, grew the chops, right? Had the muscle shirt, right? Wolverine was out. He's back in action. Here we go. And I was like 38 at the time, so I go to this, con, and I'm strutting my stuff, and every kid's like, "It's Old Man Logan." I'm like, "Old Man Logan."
Oh no!
Yeah, see, I am a comic nerd.
Yes, you are.
So
yes, you
I
are.
do understand the whole Old Man Logan thing, and I get the yeah.
I was shooting for young Logan, like, come on, like the inspiring cool. Like after you're retired and you like let your body go a bit. Yeah, no, that's me.
That's
me.
That's who I am. Yeah.
We're doing a push-up again. But anyway, so we launched on our website something called it was going to be the GameCon Canada Cosplay Fashion Show. And we released this to the public, and very quickly the cosplay community reached out to us, and they were like, whoa, you guys are doing the largest gaming conference in the world, and you guys want to have a fashion show? Like, what's that? It's like, no, you do a competition, you get some real talent on this, you can draw so much attention. Like, the cosplay community has been waiting for a conference of this size to acknowledge not just the community, but put up the kind of prize pool and prestige that they're looking for in the cosplay community. So we did it. So I mean, and by the way, when I say we, I don't mean we. I mean, like, we went out looking for someone that knows what they're doing, because we're not cosplay showrunners. Like, sure, we'll figure it out, I guess. Yeah, no, not it. So we found two amazing individuals, Living the Dream Cosplay and Maker Fishmeal, and they are a cosplay management team. And they designed the entire package, 3 tiers of competition. So we've got novice, journeyman, masterclass. They brought 3 celebrity judges to the table, which I wish I could tell you who they are right now, but we're literally within a week of signing those contracts.
Next time.
So they're coming out. We're providing a $10,000 cash prize pool, which is one of the largest that has been done in Canada. $5,000 in additional prizing. All cosplay costumes are welcome. We're embracing all fandom. But the cool thing is, on Sunday, that's where the fashion show comes in. So the competition is Saturday night. The fashion show is just for the kids. So if you want to come up on the Megastage, show your costume, we're going to have 30 or 40 spots open. Everyone's going to win a prize just for going on the Megastage and having some fun.
Sure.
So if you guys want to roll the clip, we will show you what is happening with the cosplay competition.
Is that the third one here?
Third one there.
Third one. Okay.
Great logo, bro. Sweet. Great logo. We'll hold that up there again.
Yes. So that's what's happening. It's pretty fun, right? Like, so that is our Saturday night cosplay competition.
Yeah.
We already have, I think, because they do their submissions on the website, and we're almost full, like out of the 60 contestants we're supposed to have. So we're really excited to be able to provide this. I can't wait to see, like, I've seen like some of these Instagram accounts and kind of followed them, because when they've, because we communicate back and forth with the team, obviously, some of these people that want to come, like So talented, so amazing. There's a guy that built a Bowser costume
Mm-hmm.
that is like the size of a pickup truck because he's like 6'4", like
Oh,
290.
yeah, big guy. Yeah,
And he's walking around in this like, oh, it is it's gonna be
man,
really fun to see all the stuff that comes out.
people take the cosplay stuff like crazy serious these days. Like
Absolutely.
it is something else, man. Like
Oh yeah, it's and you know what's cool though is like in the vein of inclusion and progression. It's just like it's another part of people expressing themselves in
Well,
something
it's
that's
just, I
fun
mean,
and
it's-
enjoyable,
yeah.
bro. Like this is some of the most fun that I've heard about in a long time,
well,
and it's just like
Halloween, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
yeah, but like it's
you're dressing up,
magical.
and it's like I said, people take it like pretty seriously, and it's kind of like in some ways it has become like a bit of a mainstream thing. Even it's not
Absolutely.
even that weird of an idea anymore. Like once upon a time, the idea of cosplaying was kind of like, oh,
It was unheard of, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
it was either
Playing in television when you're 9 years old in the 1980s. Yeah, like what are they doing on the side, you know? And now it's like a big thing.
Exactly.
So Mark, so both being a musician and putting on things of this scale always come with some form of pushback, peer pushback, family pushback. How do you deal with all that stuff?
I mean, there's obviously there is, right? Because I'd love to say that this has been easy because the community wants it as bad as it is, but I mean something of this scale, it just takes every day, sheer determination to keep on going, to keep driving. We actually had a real difficult time convincing people that this was actually happening. We actually had to go get the CEO of the BMO Center to sign a letter acknowledging that we had paid our money and that this was happening, because when we first originally reached out to the community, we're like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no gaming conference of this size. Like, are you crazy? Like, it was so difficult to be like, guys, this is really happening. Like, our dates are booked. Like, this is a show that is, happening. As far as and now obviously with some of the bigger names, like I said, we're allowed to announce Warhammer. As the bigger names start, as we're allowed to release them, it'll become more apparent that, okay, like this is really happening. And honestly, you guys are one of the first interviews we've done. And so I was very happy to get the invite, because our press release isn't even set until mid-January. Like, that's when the firepower starts. That's when all of our marketing
budgets
starts kicking off. So this has all been, social media stuff, releasing some videos, letting people know what's going on. But, the full, I guess, shot out of the cannon is not going to happen for at least another month and a half.
Yeah. Well, man, I really appreciate the fact that you're willing to come on here and let us be. It's fantastic. I mean, this is I will say this is probably the biggest scale interview of anybody that we've had on here so far
to date
for a project that they're running. So
breaking ground
in all sorts of ways here. So yeah, man, no, this is great. Like,
I appreciate it big time. I got another question for you, Mark. How did you decide that you wanted to do the biggest conference, Western Canada?
Okay. So full disclosure, we did market this to some secondary markets.
Okay.
Right. First of all, cities of smaller size than Calgary, and this wasn't my call.
How big is Calgary? How big is Calgary these days?
Calgary right now is 1.6 million that live there.
1.6 million. Okay.
Like inside, and then there's like surrounding area and all the rest. That
there's another 1.6 living within a 3-hour drive of the venue. So that's the nice thing, right? The numbers are there for the kind of attendees that we're looking to attract. But so when we started doing it, it was like, okay, so if we go to these secondary markets, we can maybe get, like 5,000 to 7,000 people to, pay respects to fire codes through the door. And the decision became very simple, very quick. It was like, in order to get the studios that we know we need to attract in order to get the attendees to want to come.
Clearance, everything.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing is that Chris and myself are both very passionate about the indie dev community, both in video games and tabletop. And those communities, we love eating. We love putting a spotlight on, but it's always a chicken and the egg. So, regular gamers that don't know these amazing studios that we have all over Canada, and we're also bringing people from, like I said, all over the world. They're not going to initially jump at it until they see names like Warhammer, and I wish I could say the other titles, but I can't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
when you say those, right? And then it's like those are the companies that they're like, cool, they're coming to Canada. We're totally going to check that out. And then it becomes this amazing discovery piece where it's like, as they're walking through the gaming halls, seeing all these massive companies that they know and love, they get to discover all this cool stuff they never even knew existed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Magic of it, right? It's like, whoa, this is amazing, and some of what these indie devs have done is super cool. Like, again, I wish I could tell you what they are, but the whole thing about this is that, they're working on games that they're getting to be like early access release so that they can demo them at GameCon Canada. And again, it's all part of the marketing package. So when we start launching closer to live dates, there will be essentially an itemized inventory that's going to be on the GCC website that has, who's coming, what they're demoing, like essentially a little profile page about what they are.
EPK.
So, to give people a little sneak peek about what's going on, right? So, and from what I know is coming, it's pretty cool. And the booth setups, are unlike gaming booth setups, and tabletop booth setups are amazing because it's like, for tabletop, it's going to be like a massive dragon that's like hanging over the top of it, and there's like people dressed up in cosplay, and it's like, good day, my lord, would you like, like this kind of stuff. And then with the video game ones, it's like everything is LED wall, ridiculous, and there's smoke, and there's massive sounds and just cool stuff happening all over. Like it's sensory bliss. You're just like, this is so cool. Like you just can't help but get excited for what's going to be set up and for what people are able to play.
That is so dope. That is so dope, man.
That's fantastic. Now, so let's just like play pretend here for a second.
Okay.
So let's say this goes off, and it goes off with a bang. Where do you want to go with this?
Yeah, where are we taking this?
What happens after GameCon Canada 1? And okay, great, this was awesome.
Actually, let's slow this down. Let's slow this down.
Okay,
what's on the paperwork? Like you said, you're planned up to 2025.
We're doing 3 years. Yeah.
So tell us what the 3 years, and then tell us what you envision as the future.
Yeah. Where do you? Yeah. Where? Like what's? Obviously, this is the start. So where?
If everything goes well,
what's the real dream here? What's the where do you see this really going if it does what you want?
I mean, essentially, because there's nothing like this, like even in Eastern Canada.
There's nothing in Eastern Canada.
There are cons of size, but nothing to the scale. So, I mean, if I had my Christmas wish list, it would be, as we're opening up this charity initiative to all of Canada, we would like to grow the show to be able to reach most of Canada. So that would be the goal, right?
So we're looking at multiple cons.
Exactly. Because that's all these things are sustained. It's no different than what PAX is doing. When PAX started, they had their initial one, and then PAX went to PAX East, PAX West, PAX Australia, PAX Unplugged, like that kind of stuff. So I mean, it would be an absolute dream and a privilege to be able to essentially take the show on the road and be able to provide it to all Canadians. Because if you're from Eastern Canada, we have a digital aspect to our show. Like you'll be able to purchase a digital ticket for next to nothing.
Okay.
Click in, see the vendors, see the streaming, watch the esports. We'll talk about that in a second. Watch the esports, watch the cosplay competition. Everything's streamed, but there's something so tangible
about being there.
Yeah, walking in that door and being able to
being immersed.
Energy.
Exactly.
It's the same as, I mean, obviously, from the music world, it's you can watch a concert at home on a DVD or on your computer, right? It's great, it's good, but it's not like being in the middle of a giant crowd when the sound is pumping and the lights are going, and it's a different thing altogether. So I can really appreciate what you're saying with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the goal.
Now what you just said there, the I guess maybe I missed this, but you're going to be able to tune in even if you're not there. Is this?
Yeah. So what we wanted to do is essentially, and we've priced our show to be also extremely affordable. So we're not doing you'll see this in typical conference platform where, the cosplay fashion show is this day and this celebrity showing up this day. So guess what? Your ticket is this much more because they're there that day. We don't do that. So we're just doing $45 across the board, right? So $45 a day gets you into GameCon Canada for the whole day. Play as much as you want, do whatever you want. Everything's at your disposal. And then we'll do a discount price for an all-access weekend pass. For the digital ticket, it's going to be anywhere between, like $8 to $12. We haven't decided on that. It just depends on how many features that we add to it.
Okay.
But essentially, yeah, if you want to spend, $10 and you're in Eastern Canada, you want to see what's going on at GameCon Canada, you'll be able to click on all the vendor booth profiles, see what they're doing. Those pages obviously send people to their links that are important to them, and then all the streaming stuff, right? So if you want to see the opening ceremonies on Friday, or you want to see the esports tournaments that were going out throughout the weekend, cosplay competition, RPG programming, whatever it is, you'll be able to tune in and watch it.
Now here's a thing. Maybe I don't know if this is even a plausibility, but is this something where somebody might be able to get in on a multiplayer game with people that are there?
Can I play from home and play against you guys at the conference?
Yeah, exactly. Can I pay to get in on that, or is that like? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying.
And I get that might be a big thing to do with on that scale. But
so like I said, for year one, strictly streaming services.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because Northern Arena, they're the ones that are doing our esports activation. They're absolutely fantastic. Been around since 2015. They got game keys to everything, and they're making an entire experience that will blow people away. So they are not only running all of our esports, organizing the qualifying tournaments leading up, the semifinals and finals from GameCon Canada, but we actually just had a meeting today. They are going over and above and making an entire play center that is dedicated to the games that they are running for esports as free play activations for people that are just hanging out at the Megastage. So it's like, hey, you want to play the new games that Northern Arena brought to the show? Awesome. Here's a, essentially a community tournament section that you don't have to play on the Megastage. You don't have to be competitive. You're just going there to have fun. So we do have within the conference, we have
within
that,
the conference.
It won't be.
Okay, it's not like everybody around the world can just hop in and jump, which I get. Like I said, that's pretty
that would be
lofty.
booth dependent though. Like, I mean, if I have a booth, I could probably find a way to do that if that was important to me.
I mean, if that's something that the vendors want to tackle,
right? It comes down to bandwidth.
Yeah, tackle on an individual basis, absolutely. But most of the stuff as far as playing goes currently in the model is at the con.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
good, man. I'm just sitting here. I don't want to say in disbelief because you've done a lot of things that sound like a lot to chew off, but like this is really cool, man. Good for you. Good for you. Did you know it was going to be this big when you started?
No, I mean, well,
I guess how could you? But
okay, here's full disclosure. Okay, well, if we're talking real talk,
real talk. Let's give us real talk. Yeah.
When we took the tour of the BMO Center for the first time, and what we were putting large sums of money to book, I walked through that venue and I was like,
it's echoey.
Holy shit. I don't mind. I've been trying not to drop any swears the whole time, but I'll drop that one. I was like, this is a big space. What are we going to put in here to fill this? Just like, oh my goodness, because we've done lots of large scale events before, but I mean, they are in halls the size that usually accommodate, anywhere between 100 and 150 vendors. We've been doing that successfully for a long time.
Yeah.
For these kind of halls, it was like, oh my goodness. And then here's the wonderful thing. So I go back for a tour, and next we had to essentially do some shifting around for Warhammer, right? How we're going to do this. And then I look back and I know who's coming. And then I was like, we might need more room.
Yep.
It was such a great feeling. I'm like,
no kidding.
We need more room. And the nice thing about it, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but if you haven't, anyone that wants to, you can go check out the BMO Center construction plans that are happening to be released in 2024.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And they are literally building the largest high-tech first-class event center in Western Canada. It's bigger than what they have in Vancouver. It's gorgeous.
Wow.
So we will be able to grow into that facility.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
something else to
nice.
consider, man. Like TELUS has like a huge science center in Calgary. They have a huge presence in Calgary. Like myself being from TELUS, and that's as much as I'm going to talk about it. Like all the meeting offices they have, the coaching offices they have are stunning. Like that's part of their home turf is Calgary. You know, they have these
So they make an investment there.
yeah. Like they're definitely going to be a part of Calgary because like they have. I can't remember what the distinction is between like your regular corporate store and then like your like A++ store, but they have like 2 or 3 of them in Calgary. So like they're definitely involved in the culture there. So it's cool to hear that not only have you found a brand like that as a partner, but someone that's willing to grow and willing to be progressive, just the same as you guys are looking to be, right?
Absolutely. And one of the things that we've really enjoyed about the partnership is when we drew up the contracts, and a couple things that they were very firm on, which I loved. Inclusion, which was absolutely wonderful because it was like that's one of their main drives, their main brand. And 2, the commitment to keeping this a gaming conference and not a spectacle, right? So they didn't want us to turn this into, look at all this. We brought 400 movie celebrities. We're going to put them in a hall where you can spend $300 to get photos and autographs. Meanwhile, you just blew past all the vendors you promised that were a priority to you. You know, they leave and go hang out in Celebrity Hall, and then everyone's like, "Okay, cool. I thought this was a gaming conference." Like,
So the emphasis is on the actual thing that it is.
Absolutely,
not just
100% on the vendors. You are here to discover the art and creation that these amazing studios have brought to the table. That's what it's all about. My internet just dropped. I sure as hell don't have TELUS. I'll tell you that.
I can speak in depth to that.
You know what? I happen to have TELUS, and our connection was 100%.
And you're fine. I won't tell you who I use out here in the sticks because we don't get TELUS. But
you're out in. Are you in the pass now? You in the pass?
No, no. I'm in a small farming community, Foremost.
Oh, you're in Foremost. Okay. I just moved to Coldell from Lethbridge. We're on an acreage now. Yeah, we got 7 acres.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, bro. If you ever want to do a music video or some photos or some sunsets, bro, I got you.
Deal.
It don't matter. Mark, you had one more video. Why don't you tell me about this video and then we'll play it? How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So essentially, one thing I wanted to leave you with for GameCon Canada is something that is absolutely fantastic. It is huge in every scale of the sense. So I want to show you a quick video of the Megastage. So we partnered with a company called BEL Visuals. Absolutely fantastic company, local to Calgary. And what they've built us is, I'll tell you the dimensions after. Let's play the video, and then I'll tell you how big it is after you see it.
Okay.
I'm going to make this one full screen, so it's going to be fun. Yeah, these graphics, bro. These graphics are so good.
Right? Okay, so that is 118 feet wide, 24 feet tall, LED wall Megastage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nuts. So that's where everything, opening ceremonies, live music, celebrity panels, esports, cosplay competition, everything's happening on that thing. So
Unreal, man. Unreal. And you said they're out of Calgary too?
Yeah, we went shopping around looking for someone that could facilitate this, and just happened to. It's all who you know, just like we're talking together because we have a history. Yep. Same thing. It was a gentleman that I worked with in the bar industry like 15 years ago, and he's like, "Hey, so I saw you were involved with GameCon Canada. You should talk to my cousin because he owns BEL Visuals." I'm like, "What's BEL Visuals?" It's like he does LED wall displays for large conventions and concerts. I'm like, "What?" So we went to go check it out, went to his studio. I got to see it in person. I was like, this is nuts. So yeah, that's what he's building for us.
No, that's awesome, man.
Beautiful.
I appreciate the hell out of that.
Man.
I appreciate you being here and sharing with us, man. It's nice to see you looking
Absolutely.
inspired. It looks like you're
Absolutely.
smiling from your eyes, man. I'm excited for this. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. And like I said, I don't know if we even said it because you're like, I know you said it a whole bunch, but in case I didn't, GameCon Canada is happening in Calgary, Alberta at the BMO Center, June 23rd, 24th, 25th, 2023.
2023.
Coming up.
And coming soon to maybe a city near you in Canada.
I
want to take a second. I want to take a second. I got a fair sized fan base in Norway. So all my Norway friends.
Oh, Norway.
Because we talked about Norway earlier. Where else did you say? The United States, obviously. We got a lot of friends in the United States. Who else?
Absolutely. We got companies coming from United Kingdom.
Yep. Lots over there. Oh man, my friend
Brits.
Ams, my friend Lori. Oh yeah, we got a few over there.
It's and like, don't get me wrong, the goal of this was always to concentrate on independent devs from Canada, and that is our main focus. And then, of course, obviously, bringing in supporting talent from around the world, right? Like that's the whole thing. Let's introduce our market to the world and vice versa, right? Get these companies working together, get them jamming out, and hopefully some future cool gaming can happen from it.
Right on, man.
No, Mark, I appreciate this, and I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you being here with us tonight. Please let me know if there's anything we can do to help my YouTube friends, my Patreon friends. If y'all want to donate to the charity, I'll have the links in the description box. Mark, is there anything you'd like to leave us with?
No, that is it. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on board. We've been kind of talking off camera. I'd love to come back and announce some of the larger talent that's going to be coming if you guys are into that. And love to make a revisit as we keep going towards our live dates. We're 7 months away, so she's coming up.
Yep, absolutely,
dude. I wasn't kidding. You have an open invitation here, my
anytime
friend.
You want. Anytime. You want. We should do it in person if we can.
Yeah, we could set one up. Get you in town here one day, maybe.
I would love to.
Down the line. Yep. We'll sit around the table. We'll actually have a few drinks. We can clang the glasses together.
For real, yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Right on.
Okay, Mark, it's great to see you, my friends, my BEL friends. I appreciate y'all watching. Check out all the links in the description box. And if there's any questions, anyone else y'all want to see on the channel, please let me know.
Right on.
Mark, Dave.
Awesome.
Have a great evening, my friends.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers.
Thanks for having me.